Hello, ladies and gents. Today, I'm going to bring up an issue that I think is very important, and I don't think enough people talk about. Hello, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. If you subscribe to the New York Times, then we have problems. I don't even need to know you. I just know that if you subscribe to the New York Times, you're part of the problem. And that means that we have a problem. And I was one of those people who got along with the New York Times for a long while. I had no problems with them. In fact, they were very fun, and I loved using their website to play their little games. But then they just happened to go and ruin my life. My biggest problem with them is that they've gone downhill. They've fallen into the money trap, as I like to call it. They took away mini crossword and added in some weird pips game and a MIDI crossword, which is also not free. And why would you want to have 3 versions of a crossword puzzle and none of them are free? There's the normal crossword, there's this MIDI crossword, which I imagine is just some medium version where it's the exact same. It's just not big or small. And then they have the mini crossword. And they have all these other games. The Wordle, Connections, Strands, Sudoku, and Spelling Bee. And they're all right, I guess. The Wordle is basically whatever. It's the most neutral one. It's the one everyone uses. If you can say Wordle, people know what you're talking about. I think the only reason that's so free is because if it wasn't, people would just revolt. There'd be revolutions going on in the streets. People would write hate emails. But my biggest problem with the Wordle is that you get to the last guess, and there's about 5 lots of different combinations that the word could be, and you're left with just this panic setting in of what am I going to guess? Am I going to get it wrong? And then you guess it, and you're either lucky and you should go buy a lottery ticket, or you're crushed when you see what the word is, and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. And then there's the connections. I don't like them personally, as someone who doesn't get them very often, because it just involves such a roundabout way of thinking to get it. Like, most of the time, there's one that's usually pretty easy, but the rest of them are really annoying, very difficult, and pretty much impossible to guess. Especially, the colors are sorted by difficulty. I don't remember off the top of my head what each color is for. But whatever color's the hardest, I can guarantee you I don't get it. It's just process of elimination. And it's rumored that the connections get harder as the week goes on. And I absolutely believe it. But I also just think that I'm just bad at it. But I just don't know that people think that way. And whoever they hired to do that is either some sort of like evil genius or a psychopath. Possibly both. And the Sudokus are basically irrelevant. I'm sure some of y'all never heard of it even to begin with, which is understandable because I don't think about them that often anyway, let alone do them. And the connections is definitely one of the bottom of the barrel, and the Sudoku is definitely one of the bottom of the barrel things. Sudokus they've always been sort of that way. People don't just think to themselves, yeah, I want to do a Sudoku today. That sounds just awesome. People just don't do that. And so that's all the peasants have to work with. They have the Sudoku, the connections, the Wordle, and I guess they also have the strands, which honestly, the strands are alright. It's like if you took a word search and made it flexible. It's the word search's cousin that does yoga and drinks like boba tea and stuff. It's like the preppy cousin. It is like kind of hard sometimes. It really depends on what you're doing with it. And I like that the hint is very vague. And my personal strategy, and I guess you can call it cheating. It's really not. It's just like, because they don't give you anything to work with. You just look at the little box with the words, and you realize there's nothing I can do with these, unless there's like a really obvious, really long word, you usually can't figure it out right away. So what I like to do is they give you hints and you can like charge up for a hint by finding random words. So I usually do that, and then once I find the first word, I can either get it and understand, make the connection between the word that they gave me and the hints, or I just basically give up. But I don't like the New York Times. They made a huge mistake about a year ago when they took the mini crossword away from the peasants. They made them no longer free. They took the mini and made it subscriber use only, which means you had to buy a subscription to be able to use the mini crossword, and I was very upset. I liked the mini crossword. It was my favorite game out of all the New York Times games. The hints were good, and it was especially nice when you could find like a reference to like a TV show, a bit of media that you knew, and it was very exciting because it was like, oh my gosh, I get this free hint or free word, free letters, and it was very, very nice. And one of my favorite parts was that there was always that little musical jingle that they would play after you would get it, and you'd just be in a setting where absolutely no one should have been doing puzzle games online, and then you'd have that one person who'd finish the puzzle, and then you'd hear that little the first few notes of the little musical jingle as they're desperately trying to turn the volume down so that you don't know what they were doing. And I'm very mad about that. They took my one bit of happiness and they just decimated it. They took one of my favorite things and ruined it. I'm not a subscriber to the New York Times, and now, thanks to them doing that, I will never be. I don't appreciate that. That was very, I want money on their part. And when you have 3 crosswords that you have to pay money for that do the exact same thing, that's how you know they've really fallen into the money spiral. And the point is that I'm being robbed of an opportunity to finish puzzles because I can't do the mini crossword because it's just been they've given the peasants things and then proceeded to be like, yeah, you don't get this anymore, taking it away from us. And another thing they've been keeping away from us is the spelling bee. And it does this weird thing, this very annoying, dumb thing, where it lets you make so many words. It gives you a little circle, and the circle has words. It's like those children's books where they have, it's like the children's books, like the coloring activity books, where they have this little sentence at the top, or this circle of words in the case of the spelling bee, and you have to make words from that. And I liked it a lot of the times. Usually, though, I will admit, by the time it said, hey, you need a subscription to finish this puzzle, I was pretty much grasping at straws for words anyway, though, because you would have either found all the small words already or all the ridiculously large ones that give you the points, because it's based on points, not really off of words. Once you get so many points, it cuts you off. But it's never done the same points for me personally. It's done, sometimes it cuts off after one word, sometimes it cuts off after quite a few, not even based off the size for points. I don't know how it decides when it's going to cut off. It just it chooses if it's going to be generous that day. But the point is that we were being robbed, and I really want to finish the puzzle, and it won't let me. I want to be able to see if I can make all the words to get all the points. I want to reach that level genius that's at the top. If you've seen the ads where it has like the puzzle games, where it's like, it gives you like an example is it gives you a big box and it has like numbers and you have to combine 2 numbers to make the number 10. And then there's the bar graph at the top and it has a picture of Albert Einstein on one side and it says idiot and genius. And every time you swipe one of the combine 2 of the letters, the numbers to make 10, the bar graph moves closer to genius. That's what that is. And I want to reach genius and it won't let me. So now this is going directly to New York Times. By the time you probably won't see this video, but if you were to, I'm going to give you a do better, but make it very specific. For the most obvious, make the mini free again. We're not being greedy here. We don't even want the MIDI. We don't want the actual crossword. We want back what you gave us to start with. And we want back the mini crossword. Give us back joy. We already have people paying to read your articles, play the full version of your games, including the other 2 crosswords. They get 2 crosswords. They do not need 3 crosswords to themselves. Can't you give us one? Give us one. And if you don't, we will rebel. We will rebel. We will fight. We will fight to get this mini crossword back. We're not asking for much. We just want back what we had. That's it. Please. Thank you.